that don't look at Wamushomba as your problem, don't look at Ndindi Nyoro as your problem, Ishungwa or any other person around the president. Look at your own capacity. But the truth of the matter is that once somebody is the president, and you are his deputy, you have to listen to him twice.
And you're just in time for the only name in matters politics and governance here in Kenya and across the region. That is Richard Mwenja exclusive here on Herman Manyora's YouTube channel. It is always a pleasure to have you on board. And today we're going to revisit a conversation that, due to public demand, it's better we advance it further, and that has to do with Mount Kenya politics. And who better to help me unpack the conversation other than the first of his name, former cabinet minister Kipruto Arap Kiro. Laid back and subtle as usual. How are you, sir?
Yeah, I'm happy and always happy to be with you.
Good, good. And I'm actually so delighted at the response you are getting. Many people are embracing you and saying you are the person Kenya needs. If not as the president, at least as the Minister of Agriculture. What is your sentiment about that?
No, for me, I think we can make a contribution from whichever position. Even what we are doing now is nation building. Nation building in the sense that if you give advice and somebody listens to that piece of advice and is able to change the situation for the better, that's nation building. You know, at times there is a difference between job seeking and trying to build the nation. Yes, if I had the opportunity to serve in any position, perhaps not at the level of the president, because I think after Ruto and the fact that he's being compared with Moi, the name of any Kalenjin has actually acquired a notorious position in the history of Kenya. And that notoriety is likely to jeopardize the chances of any other Kalenjin aspiring to the position of the president. So if I was to serve in any other position, I would be glad. But I don't have to go back to salaried employment, because I strongly believe service to the nation, you can serve from any corner.
That of the way, let's begin our conversation on the recent development in Mount Kenya, and that is coming from a section of Mount Kenya leaders who have assured Rigathi Gachagua of their political allegiance and also vowed to deal with anyone who is likely to disregard or disrespect Rigathi Gachagua over what they call the latest relationship between Raila Odinga and President Ruto. Would you say that maybe that warning shot is fired at President Ruto, though indirectly?
Yes, I think the Mount Kenya block, and I want, for those who don't know that particular block, to advise them that when you see them say something, it's better you take good care and listen to it, because they don't say something unless they believe it. I know, because in my constituency, Cherangani, it is cosmopolitan, and there is a sizable block or a substantial presence or people from Mount Kenya region. And any time they say something, think twice, because they don't say it before they think through. And therefore, Rigathi Gachagua may actually acquire some leverage that he would not have gotten were it not for the way politics are now shifting, to the extent that there is another handshake in the name of AU Commission Chair. So I take it that, yes, Rigathi Gachagua is one of us. We should not fight him unnecessarily, but also he needs to understand that when somebody sits at the position of the president, there are certain exigencies that take place that perhaps if you are in any other seat, you will not understand certain painful decisions that you must make. That's why the deputy president then, the current president now, William Ruto, used that issue of handshake as the lowest position for President Uhuru Kenyatta. Now that he's in office, he has realized that the devil that you have to deal with is the strength and the latitude Raila has when it becomes to political gaming. So if Dr. William Ruto did not know what it means to deal with Raila, now he knows. And therefore, Rigathi may also not know what it means to deal with Raila. And possibly if he acquires the position of the president in many years to come, he may know, or sooner than later. You know, in politics anything can happen.
Dynamics do change?
They change because, you know, like in Africa, if there is something that I've always seen is trust deficit, where most of the coups and counter coups in Africa are carried over by your closest friend. Check that one of Thomas Sankara. He was overthrown by Blaise Compaoré after only 2 or 3 years, and yet these were the best of friends. They used to visit parents when they were in the military, even after the military, before they took over the country called Burkina Faso, which was Upper Volta at that particular time. Look at the issue in Angola, where the president had a protege that took over from him, only for that person to expel even the former president's daughter out of the country. Look at issues of Mobutu Sese Seko. He was so close to the president of DRC at that particular time, before he overthrew through the assistance of foreign masters, and many other cases in Africa that have taken place. Look at the fiasco between Kibaki and Moi, where Kibaki, after about 11 years as the vice president of the republic, he was demoted to the minister for health. And thanks to Kibaki, when he took over for 10 years, he never mentioned the name of President Moi in any fora in a negative way, because he believed that a president does his work, and after he's done his, you are left with some work to do. And if there is some work to do, do it. Because that's the main issue why you are in that particular office, not to vilify the other president. Remember, even the house President Moi was staying in Cabernet Gardens, which was the residence of a vice president, was given to him with the title deed presented over by the former Minister of Lands, Amos Kimunya. Because Kibaki, in the cabinet meeting, he said, he was informed that yes, there is this house, it belongs to the state. Then he asked, who is staying there? We told him it's so and so. And who has been staying there? It is so and so. He said, then why don't you allow him to stay there?
Permanently?
Yeah, permanently. There are other houses that can be built. And that's when they built the residence of the vice president in Karen.
Very well.
So you can see, this is somebody who did not believe in vendetta. And you know, that is the spirit we should build as a country. We should not be bitter about, oh, tulikuwa na wewe jana, sasa umenihepa, oh, sijui utafanya nini, ulinisumbua juzi, leo utaniona. You know, those are not statements that people want to build a country should be engaging in.
Very well.
Yeah.
As it is right now in Kenya's political landscape, the arrow is likely pointing at the destination of a likely handshake between Raila Odinga and President William Ruto, something that DP Gachagua had vowed to make sure it doesn't see the light of day eventually in the fullness of time. Are we now at a situation whereby maybe Rigathi Gachagua laid faulty traps after all?
Well, I don't think the deputy president meant some of those that he had almost in every corner, people watching. I think it was just in jest. But the truth of the matter is that once somebody is the president and you are his deputy, you have to listen to him twice. One thing I wanted to remind Gachagua is that when the president announced his name in Karen that Sunday, I was seated and I heard. In his speech, he said they will go home together. In his speech, and if he has forgotten, he should play that clip, because I was there, I heard. And I'm sufficiently intelligent. So I may not, if it was in the evening, I would have said I was asleep, but I was awake. Sunday, he said, we have agreed that we'll exceed almost at the same time, unless that clip has been edited. Number two, Rigathi Gachagua, yes, thought presidency is co-presidency. This is presidency where there is the leader and the rest. and the rest includes the deputy president. So he should be alive to those two facts. And any excitement notwithstanding, he should realize that he's the deputy president, and without the constitutional arrangement, you can say at the pleasure of the president.
At the pleasure of the president.
At the pleasure of the president. Because should the president lock gates at State House, where will he meet him? Refuse to pick his calls. Although we don't want that bad manners. When somebody is your deputy, work with him. But you see, the style we have as Kenyans, we know the deputy does not see eye to eye with the president. And this is coming to inform us. You know, the presidency is the president plus others, where others may even exclude the deputy president. Because the presidency is an institution where the president is the head and other officers are there, including that of chief of staff and many other officers. And some guys also who are generally around. We call them the usual suspects. Suspects in the sense that when you say, oh, who is with the president? Oh, the usual suspect. It could be Cheruyot, it could be Shongwa, it could be somebody else that I may not care to mention now. So, when it comes to the issue of the presidency and you are the deputy, if I was to aspire to that position of deputy anywhere in future, I'll be more careful. It is easier to run any other office, but not that one of the deputy president.
The second in command.
The second in command. Because remember, even when the president is being briefed, he can say, let the deputy president be here. When he's being briefed by NIS, when he's being briefed by chief of staff or chief of defense forces,
National Security Council.
National Security Council deputy president is there, but you see there is one-to-one brief. The deputy president is not always there. There is information for the president,
censored and filtered.
Censored and filtered, targeting him personally at that particular office. So, and do you remember, Richard, that there is no deputy commander-in-chief? There is commander-in-chief, but there is deputy of the army who deputizes the chief of staff.
True.
The CDF, chief of defense staff.
Vice chief of defense forces.
Yes. Lakini when it comes to commander-in-chief, there's no deputy.
True.
So at times people don't understand the structure of government and the reading of the constitution and the PR involved. So those are three different layers. There is a structure, there is a constitution, and there is normal behavior.
The most recent clarion call from DP Rigathi Gachagua has been for Mount Kenya leaders to unite so that they capture power in 2032. Does that now expose the harbored ambitions in him of being the president once Ruto exits the office?
Well, I do not know, because also in the first place, I don't think these offices should be done in rotation, should be done in a way that after you it's me. It should be for Kenyans to say who is the best Kenyan to occupy that particular position. It may not be Rigathi. It may not be 2032. They may say 2027 Rigathi is the best person. Why does he have to postpone up to 2032? And it is not about Mount Kenya or the Agikuyu as a community. It is the best Kenyan who can emerge. It could be a Kuria, it could be a Mbere, it could be a Sabaot from Mount Elgon, although you will call him a Kalenjin, but they are minority in that particular aspect. It could be any other Kenyan. It could be somebody like Peter Kenneth, who at times you call him Mudungu. So anybody can aspire to that, to the presidency, but the tribe, in my opinion, should not be the main challenge or should not be the main qualification.
Very well.
Yes, you might have supported William Ruto. 47% of his votes came from the bloc. But it's not guaranteed that the aspirations at that time will continue being the same, and the people who gave birth to the current president will reciprocate. They may have other thoughts. They may say, better Eluya because he is our neighbor. Or get somebody from Turkana, Isiolo, Marsabit, Moyale.
And they take stewardship of the country.
Yes.
Very
and that should be the case. We should leave this space that may the best person win.
May the best person win.
Yes.
Moving on swiftly, you are a seasoned politician and also an elder in this society, and there are quarters who believe that Kiharu Member of Parliament Ndindi Nyoro is gradually recalibrating his political style from being sort of a government sympathizer and defender, or what I should say, quote unquote, a political attack dog, to being a political gentleman. And there are those who believe that he's strategically positioning himself to scuttle any political ambitions harbored in Gachagua, that of ascending into the presidency. Could there be an ounce of truth in that?
Well, I don't know. I don't know what is in his mind. I like him. He's a nice young man. But being nice at times is not full qualification to justify you being effective, both politically in terms of campaigns and in terms of occupying the office. So I just wish him well. I pray for him. But at times, you should not look at the deputy president as his main roadblock. Other factors make a set in. Remember the Tomboya Odinga scenario, where effectively one was used to fight the other. And at a convenient time, somebody else decided to shoot the other one and kill him on the 5th of July, 1969. So some things, people say history repeats itself. You can be used to destroy your own brother, and when he is down and out, you are also destroyed by a stray bullet or by a stray stone. I don't actually literally mean the bullet and the stone as they are, but a stray political stone or a stray political bullet.
Very well.
So I would rather we benchmark our politics on our vision, not on looking at others as either facilitators or obstacles to our political cause. Yeah.
Very well. And very lastly, let me ask you this. For those who've analyzed Rigathi Gachagua's style of politics after he ascended into to now being the deputy president, and looking at a situation whereby he wants to fill the vacuum of Mount Kenya kingpin, could there be some sense of him suffering from his own internal limits? Now we are seeing a bit of him being scared by how Ndindi Nyoro is positioning himself, people like Gathoni Wamshomba and other rising leaders in Mount Kenya. Could he be suffering from some such insecurities?
You know, partly I would not be so harsh to him, but remember this is somebody who did 5 years as a member of parliament, and of course much of the time he was in provincial administration. At some stage I think he was the PA to former President Uhuru Kenyatta. So 5 years is not cumulative experience that you can say this is somebody who has understood politics. You may say he's a fast learner, but experience does not come through learning. You have to experience. You have to interact with the environment. So I would forgive him if he was to panic. And I would also give him the same piece of advice that don't look at Wamushomba as your problem. Don't look at Ndindi Nyoro as your problem, Ishungwa or any other person around the president. Look at your own capacity as your main limitation. And the best way is that enjoy every office that you occupy. Remember, I told you when President Kibaki was taken to Minister of Health, he went to the office, did so well that even some of the donors were full of praises about his capacity in that office. So any office you are given, even if you are to limit me around this table, and I do it so well, it will make somebody realize that there is somebody who knows how to do a job here, and we can give him a bigger job because he has already done this one so well. So my recommendation to any leader is that, like now the DP Gachagua, he should do the job so well. He should talk less, but do more. Interact even with people quietly. He can call even 5 people, even some of us, without making it look like eti ameenda kunipa kitu, because yes, I may not have it, but I don't need it.
Looking at the promises he has made to the people of the mountain, talking of how he's going to herald the new fortunes for them, do you consider him to have somewhat exaggerated his sense of self-importance to the region?
Well, he didn't know that he was the deputy president. He thought he was the president. Because you cannot say, I will do 1, 2, 3. spend more time saying the government will do this for you if you are not the president. And so I think there was too much excitement. You know, Richard.
Juvenile excitement?
Can I call it a juvenile delinquency? Or what do you call it? I don't know. Look for a better term. Yeah, it is, he was out of his element. Yeah. That's why he said the things he said. He should have understood every sector has its own time for turnaround, and therefore make less of the promises, report the results.
Report the results,
yes.
Make less of the talk.
Of the talk.
Well, there you have it from the firebrand himself, former cabinet minister Kipruto Arap Kirwa, discussing matters to do with Mount Kenya politics and the future of that bloc when it comes to making decisive decisions that may actually steer the country a notch higher. We'll keep on advancing that conversation and keep on requesting the subjects you want us to discuss. Reach out to me on my social media handles at Mwenje Richard on Twitter and across all other social media platforms. Kipruto Arap Kirwa is going to be on social media very soon. By the way, why did you actually leave that space? Because many people are looking for you all over there and they can't find you.
No, social media is also something you need to have time, such that when people make certain comments, you have time to reply, you have time to appreciate some of the ideas, you have time to explain to them. And I told you I'm still in school.
You're still in school?
I'm still in school. I'm finalizing my thesis. Once I'm through with that, then I'll be in the social media.
Let's be realistic a little bit as we wind up. Do you have time for the classes? Do you attend them?
I attended all the classes.
You did?
And I did all the papers. And
Can someone stand and witness that?
Many. I have enough of my classmates. I did my PhD coursework. I finished in 2021.
You'll be a true doctor?
If and when, either if or when. If or stroke when, I complete my thesis.
It remains to be seen. Until next time on Richard Mwenje Exclusive, enjoy the rest of your viewing and keep supporting us in the ways you've always done. We don't take it for granted. Asanteni sana.